In a world where family perfection is a facade, the discovery of a decades-old betrayal triggers a journey of pain, revelations, and redemption, redefining the true bonds of love and fatherhood. On a vibrant fall morning, law school became the setting where the lives of two men, Michael and Robert, would become indelibly intertwined. From their first meeting in a constitutional law class, the connection between them was instantaneous, a friendship forged in a shared passion for justice and the law. Together, they navigated the challenges and triumphs of academic life, forming not only a solid friendship, but also a future partnership. After graduation, armed with ambition and determination, they opened a law firm. This decision not only marked the beginning of their professional careers, but also laid the foundation for the success they would both achieve together. Michael, a few years after establishing the law firm with Robert, met Emily at a party organized by mutual friends. It was an encounter that seemed destined by fate, a spark that ignited an instant flame in Michael's heart. Emily, with her natural elegance and infectious smile, captured Michael's attention in a way that no one else had ever done. What began as a casual conversation quickly turned into regular meetings, evolving into a relationship full of love, laughter, and shared dreams. Michael knew he had found his soulmate, and it wasn't long before they decided to join their lives together. Michael and Emily's marriage was a reflection of the deep love and dedication they felt for each other. Over the years, this love has only grown, strengthened by the birth of their two daughters. The first, a ray of sunshine that brought renewed joy and purpose to their lives, and the second, who completed the family with her arrival. Together, they have built a life marked by moments of happiness, challenges overcome, and the certainty of mutual support. Michael, balancing his role as a devoted father and loving husband, found inspiration in his family to work even harder to provide the best for them. While Michael's personal life flourished, his career didn't lag behind. His partnership with Robert proved to be more than just the right professional decision. It became a symbol of success and fulfillment. Together, they faced the challenges of the legal world, earning the respect and admiration of colleagues and clients alike. The law firm, born out of the ambition of two law students, became one of the most renowned in the city, a testament to the hard work, dedication, and above all, unwavering trust that Michael and Robert placed in each other. Michael, Emily, and their two daughters lived in a home full of laughter, board games on Sundays, and family dinners where they shared the events of the day. Michael, always the attentive father, divided his time between the office and the girls' piano recitals and swimming competitions. Emily, on the other hand, managed her career in banking with domestic life, always present at school events and family gatherings. This life of perfect appearances, however, hid a secret that was beginning to weigh heavily on Emily's heart. The secret romance between Emily and Robert began shortly after Emily was introduced to him by Michael. Initially, it was just a friendship, a natural extension of the closeness between Robert and Michael. However, this closeness evolved into furtive encounters, conversations that lasted for hours, and, eventually, into an intense romance. The encounters between Emily and Robert became more and more frequent, always hidden under the cloak of discretion, away from the eyes of Michael and the world. Robert was experiencing a devastating internal conflict. On the one hand, his loyalty and friendship with Michael were unshakable. After all, together they had built an empire. On the other, his love for Emily consumed him, leading him to question his principles and the loyalty he owed his friend. This internal dilemma was a constant burden, a struggle to maintain a balance between the guilt he felt for betraying Michael's trust and the overwhelming passion he felt for Emily. Emily, trapped in a happy marriage on the surface, struggled with her conscience every day. She loved Michael and treasured the life they had built together, but her heart was divided. Her love for Robert was a flame she couldn't extinguish, no matter how hard she tried. She justified her actions with the belief that no one would get hurt if the secret remained hidden. This double game began to affect her deeply, creating a fissure in her apparent happiness. Over the following months, the tension between Michael and Emily grew. Michael, noticing subtle changes in Emily's behavior, began to question the nature of their relationship. Small disagreements became more frequent, and Emily found herself increasingly distant, lost in her own thoughts. Although Michael sensed that something was wrong, he couldn't imagine the extent of the secret Emily was hiding. The home that had once been full of joy and transparency was now clouded by unspoken suspicions and uncomfortable silences. On a sunny Saturday afternoon, while a party was being held at Michael's family home, Anna, one of Michael's daughters, decided to look for a forgotten book in the living room to show one of her friends. As she passed through the corridor that led to her father's study, her eyes caught a scene that would change her family's life forever: Emily and Robert kissing. Anna watched in disbelief. After a moment's hesitation, Anna, overwhelmed by a whirlwind of emotions, turned to Michael. With tears in her eyes and her voice choked by the betrayal she'd just witnessed, she revealed what she had seen. Michael, faced with the devastating suspicion of his wife and best friend, initially refused to believe it. "There must be some mistake," he thought, trying to convince both himself and Anna that what she had seen had been misinterpreted. However, the sincerity on his daughter's face planted the seed of doubt. Over the next few days, Michael's mind was consumed by uncertainty and the need to find out the truth. After sleepless nights and days of reflection, he made the decision that would change his family's dynamic forever: to hire a private investigator. Michael needed to know if his daughter's suspicions were well-founded. With a heavy heart, he gave the detective all the information he needed to begin his investigation into Emily and Robert. 2 weeks passed before the detective returned with the evidence Michael had been dreading: photos and videos documenting secret meetings between Emily and Robert. When he saw the images that confirmed the betrayal, Michael felt as if the ground had disappeared from under his feet. The pain of betrayal, more acute than any physical wound, invaded him completely. The reality that his wife and his best friend, the two people he trusted the most, had lied to him for so long was almost unbearable. Consumed by a mixture of anger and sadness, Michael carefully planned how he would confront Emily and Robert. He knew that he needed to confront the situation directly in order to move on, whatever the outcome. He decided that a family dinner would be the setting for the revelation, one last meeting before revealing the coming storm. Michael prepared himself not only for Emily's possible apologies or explanations, but also for the end of a marriage that he believed was built on love and trust. The evening of Michael's planned dinner was imbued with an almost palpable tension. Michael first took his daughters to their mother's house so that they wouldn't witness what would happen that evening. He spent the hours before Emily and Robert arrived in a state of introspective stillness, mentally preparing himself for what was to come. The table was set with meticulous precision, each cutlery and plate lined up as if for a solemn ritual rather than a dinner party between family and friends. Michael reviewed the evidence once more, the photos and videos provided by the detective, each one serving as a painful blow to his betrayed trust. With a heavy heart, he waited for Emily and Robert to arrive, each minute stretching out like an eternity. Emily was the first to arrive home, and she quickly went to take a shower to get herself minimally ready for dinner. Sometime later, it was Robert's turn to arrive, and he brought Michael's favorite wine with him, as it was expected to be just another dinner between the family and Robert. But from that moment on, the smiles quickly faded at the seriousness of Michael's expression. Seated at the table, dinner had barely begun when Michael bluntly presented the evidence of his betrayal. The photos and videos circled the table like silent witnesses to the secret romance. Emily and Robert, confronted with the irrefutable truth, couldn't find the words to defend themselves at first, but only exchanged looks of despair and guilt. Under the weight of the deafening silence and Michael's stare, Emily was the first to break the silence. With tears in her eyes, she confessed her 20-year romance with Robert, detailing how what began as a forbidden attraction blossomed into something she couldn't, or wouldn't, end. Robert, equally crestfallen, added his voice to the confession, admitting his role in the betrayal not only against Michael, but against the family he helped build. The revelation of the affair's long duration added an even more painful layer to the betrayal. The confession triggered a mixed reaction in Michael, a storm of anger, sadness, and disbelief. He declared the end of his marriage to Emily and his partnership with Robert in the same breath, the words charged with irrevocable finality. The betrayal of two of the people closest to him had not only broken his heart, but also his ability to trust. Michael, although devastated, maintained a composure that masked the inner turmoil of his emotions. The revelation of the secret romance raised a devastating new doubt in Michael's mind, the paternity of his daughters. Consumed by the need to face all the truths, Michael decided to carry out a DNA test to confirm that he was the biological father of both girls. The wait for the results was torturous, each day filled with anxiety and fear of what the truth might reveal about the already fractured foundation of his family. One gray morning, the envelope containing the results of the DNA test arrived in Michael's hands. His heart beat heavily against his chest as he opened the envelope, his fingers trembling with the gravity of the moment. The paper in his hands was not just a document, it was the bearer of truths that could change the fabric of his family forever. The results revealed a devastating truth. His youngest daughter, little Lucy, was not his biological child. As he read the words, Michael felt as if the ground was opening up beneath his feet. The pain of Emily and Robert's betrayal was intensified by the revelation that the little girl he had raised, loved, and considered his own from the first moment he held her in his arms, did not share his blood. The most difficult task lay ahead, talking to Anna and Lucy about the discovery. Michael mustered all his courage and love, sitting down with his daughters in a circle of honesty and vulnerability. He explained the results of the DNA test gently, emphasizing that the biological truth did not alter his unconditional love for them both. "You two will always be my daughters," he said, the words carrying an eternal promise. The conversation was marked by tears, hugs, and a reaffirmation of love and family unity. Despite the confusion and pain, Anna and Lucy's reaction was immediate mutual support and an unequivocal rejection of Robert. For them, Michael was and always would be their real father, regardless of blood ties. The decision to stand by Michael, rejecting any attempt by Robert to insert himself into their lives as Lucy's biological father, was unanimous. They chose the man who raised, loved, and protected them as their true family. In the quiet that followed the storm of emotions, Michael found himself reflecting on the true meaning of family and fatherhood. The painful journey they had been through revealed that blood ties, although significant, are not the only foundation on which parenthood rests. Love, dedication, and shared moments are the true pillars that sustain the relationship between father and daughter. Michael recognized that, despite the betrayal and painful revelations, he and his daughters had found a new beginning, a chance to rebuild on the foundations of unconditional love and truth. Michael faced the challenge of resuming his career as a solo lawyer with determination and focus. The betrayal had left scars, but it also pushed him to reassert himself in the legal world with renewed integrity and prestige. His dedication to his work and his clients quickly rebuilt his reputation, proving that his strength and competence went beyond personal adversity. Michael found in his solo practice not only a means of support, but a source of healing and a way to redefine his professional identity. Emily, alongside Robert, tried to establish a new life, but the foundations of this new beginning were fragile. Guilt and the weight of past lies haunted every attempt to build a future together. The relationship, already marked by secrecy and betrayal, faced increasing difficulties. Emily struggled to find her place in this new reality, realizing that the price of her choices was higher than she had ever imagined. Robert faced the painful reality of his daughter's rejection. The discovery of his biological paternity to Lucy was not the moment of connection he had perhaps hoped for. On the contrary, it was a reminder of the cost of his actions. The weight of remorse for having betrayed Michael's trust and damaged the lives of so many around him became a constant shadow in his life. This remorse was intensified by the rejection of Lucy, who chose Michael as her real father, rejecting any attempt by Robert to establish a bond. Robert found himself increasingly isolated, both emotionally and socially. The community that had once welcomed him now saw him in a different light, marked by disloyalty and betrayal. Loneliness consumed his days, leading him to reflect on his past choices. Finally, he made the decision to leave the city in search of a new beginning somewhere where his past wouldn't define his future. This departure was a step towards personal redemption, a lonely path to face the consequences of his actions. Meanwhile, Michael and his daughters found comfort and strength in each other. Every day together was an opportunity to strengthen the bonds that united them. The scars of betrayal and revelations were still there, but they learned to overcome them with love, understanding, and the joy found in the small moments shared. Michael dedicated himself to being not only a loving father, but also an example of resilience and integrity for Anna and Lucy. Together, they walked a path of healing, redefining the meaning of family as a unit built on the pillars of truth, forgiveness, and unconditional love.